If you've ever wondered why your competitors keep ranking above you, even when your business is better, this episode explains it all. We cover simple SEO moves you can make today, the big shifts happening with AI, and the strategies I've used since 2007 to help businesses show up everywhere their customers are searching. I'm Brandon Leibowitz, founder of SEO Optimizers, and I jumped on the Business Growth Show with Jenny White to share my story and what's working right now. Enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more SEO tips just like this.
Hi, everybody. This is Jenny White. Welcome back to the Business Growth Show. Today, I'm here with Brandon Leibowitz. He's the CEO and founder of SEO Optimizers. And today, he's going to be sharing with us some really cool tips and stories from his growth for his agency that he started years ago, and all of the good work that he does in helping companies with their local business optimization. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us.
Thank you for having me on today.
For sure. So we were just chatting a little bit about your journey with SEO. You go way back pretty far. I don't think there's a lot of people I've talked to that actually have the wealth and length of experience that you've had with SEO. Why don't you share with us a little bit about your story and where you came from?
My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I've been involved with digital marketing since 2007. Just kind of fell into it, wasn't planning on it, but I got my degree in business marketing. And after I graduated, my first job was helping a company out with their digital marketing, which I don't really know much about it. They said, don't worry, we don't know much either. We're going to learn with you and take you to classes, workshops, and seminars, which I was like, all right, this sounds interesting. Let me check it out. And after working there for a few months, just realized this is probably the future, that everyone's going to have a website. And this is back in 2007. And there's also different ways to get traffic, like email marketing, paid ads, social media, search engine optimization, and all that works. But I kind of focused more on the SEO side of things over the years, just try to tap into that free traffic, and worked at different advertising agencies, and before work, after work, and on my lunch breaks, I work on my own company, and eventually that up to where I was able to quit my job and focus solely on this, and been doing that ever since, just helping people get more traffic to their website.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a little bit about AI and what it's doing as far as SEO, but yet the still necessary component of the human, touch. What do you see as far? I mean, it's hard to conjecture, what's coming around the bend, but I know that we're using AI in our daily operations, from article writing to helping us come up with new ideas and things. But what do you think is going to be the next thing that AI is going to provide or assist with regards to SEO? Any insights into that?
It's tough to predict because it changes so quickly, and every day it's changing and adding something new. But right now, it's pretty good. Well, it's not the best because the results aren't accurate. So that's the one downside with AI, ChatGPT, or Google Bard, is you could ask questions and it'll give you answers, but if it doesn't know the answer, it does AI hallucinations and it just makes things up. So you can ask it, like, do keyword research for me and give me a list of keywords if you're a restaurant related to Italian food near me. And you can say, give me search volume and the competitive data, and it'll give you all that. But when I double check it, I'm like, all right, the search volume is way off. Like, this is not correct. So once it gets more accurate, I feel like it's more reliable. But right now, it's kind of hit or miss, where it's just take everything with a grain of salt and use it as a tool, but can't really rely on it solely. Same with like content creation, writing articles and blogs, and doing like service pages, product descriptions, do press releases, do social media content, do it all. But the more prompts you give it, the better. So not just like writing an article about Italian food, but getting really detailed and granular and saying, here's the keyword I want. Give me a list of like topically related keywords to this keyword. And then you could say, all right, here's the keyword I now want to focus on, and give me a list of like 10 blog post topics. And then from there, you pick which one seems relevant, and then you can have it write you an outline. And along the whole way, you should be editing it, making sure it aligns to your business, making sure that it has all the correct information. Because if you just say, write me an article, it's probably going to just be some generic stuff that everyone is asking it. But if you get really granular and specific, that's where you can see some benefits with SEO.
Yeah, I think, business owners may think that I can just do this myself. But the number of touch points that you just mentioned are numerous and consistent throughout the entire process. So as much as somebody wants it to be completely done for them the minute they enter in their query, that's not necessarily the case. And it takes multiple iterations and corrections and validations, like you're saying, like you have to take that information and then cross-reference it against, your SEO tools and confirm if that's correct or not, because if it's not, then you're going to dump money in a wrong direction that doesn't pay you back.
Yeah, we don't want to be doing that. Can't be wasting money on the AI hallucination. So gotta really check everything and just take it with a grain of salt and just be aware that it's not the best. But there are Google Bard is another AI version, which is Google's version. So when I'm doing SEO, I always tell people I'd probably look at Google Bard versus ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is owned by Bing. No one really goes on Bing. Everyone's going SEO. It's all about Google. And if Google's going to give you an AI and it's going to do keyword research, and it'll even write like coding for you, could do title tags, do meta descriptions. It's not the best, but if it's from Google, I would look at it just with a grain of salt and just.
Of course, absolutely. It's worth way more coming from Google. Obviously, it's like the #1 search engine. Yeah, that's a wonderful point. So Brandon, tell me about the types of businesses that you serve and some of the outcomes that you've had and how you've grown those into getting you more business. I know probably your primary delivery of new clients to your business is from SEO. So it's a great use case for you to use with your clients, but tell me a little bit about your client experience, client journey for you.
Yeah, pretty much niche agnostic, not focusing on any specific industry, but mainly focusing on like local businesses and e-commerce are the two more commonly ones that I get. But to work with pretty much anyone that has a website and a viable product or service, as long as you're not just selling something generic. If you're just selling something like t-shirts, it becomes hyper competitive and it's just gonna take a really long time. So finding something niche, and that's where I have clients where they're in the fashion industry, but one of them focuses specifically on like music festivals. So it's a little bit more niche, where it's not just here's for anybody, and that makes it feasible. And working with them over the years, was able to get them to the top position for music festival clothes for music festivals, and then all the different festivals like Coachella music or Coachella clothing, fashion, and all that stuff. And it took a while, but the main way we did it was, well, first going in their website and creating a lot of content. So Google feeds off content, meaning text. They can't really read images or videos or audio yet. I mean, they're getting better at it, but the more text you have, the easier it is for them to read, understand, and know what that page is about. So we create pages for pretty much every music festival, because if someone's searching for like Coachella fashion, you take them to the homepage, that's not what they're looking for. It's not the user intent. So making sure that we go after buyer intent keywords and creating pages specific to that, that lets Google know, okay, if someone's searching for Coachella fashion, this page is hyper relevant. Let's show this page. So it took a while creating all this content for all these festivals, and it keeps changing because new ones emerge and disappear. But that really helped out, along with building backlinks. So creating content, adding content on your website helps out a lot, but Google just doesn't believe anything anybody puts on a website. You have to build that trust up. And the way to build trust is by getting other websites to talk about you. So the more websites that talk about you, the more popular Google sees you as, and then they look at those keywords on your website. So when we were building backlinks for that one, we were reaching out to like the music festivals, to promoters, to venues, to anything related to music, because you want to get other sites that are niche related to link back to you. And that's where it's just kind of getting creative and trying to think outside the box. There's tools that you can pay for that will show you any website's backlinks. So it's like Ahrefs or Moz, SEMrush, and those are really good too, to look at our competitors' backlinks and try to reach out to the sites that are linking out to your competition, because if they're linking to your competitor, they would probably link to you. You just gotta get creative and figure out, what did they do? Did they do an article, a blog, a press release, a podcast, an interview, sponsor a trade show, whatever it may be? You can reverse engineer their entire strategy. And by doing that, was able to get them to that first page of Google within about 6 months for their keywords, and then got them to the first 3 positions within a year. Now I think they bounce off between #1 and 2 keywords. But it takes time. That's the biggest thing with SEO. It's not immediate.
How do you get your clients to take a bite of that apple, and to keep biting that apple for a year? I know a lot of it is on the deliverables and the, really the communication from your agency to the client, but how do you get them to even take that first bite?
It is tough, but I let them know they'll see movement right away. Well, within like the first few months. It's not like you're not gonna see anything, but to really get Google to trust you, it's the backlinks, and the backlinks take time for Google to find the backlinks, it's like I could create all these backlinks. Google might not find them for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. They might never find the backlink that I create. So that's where it's kind of that waiting game for Google to find them, build that trust up. And it's really just letting the client know, like, here's how much traffic you're getting right now, using like tools like Google Analytics. We can track all that and show them month over month, week over week, how their traffic is improving from Google organic searches and tracking keyword positions. So maybe when we first start working together, they're position 97. We're like, all right, now next week you're position 90. So you're dropping down, and 6 months later, you're position 40. Not many people are going to page 4 looking for stuff, but you can see that you're slowly getting to the area that you want to be at. So showing them the little incremental movement that they're getting.
Right. How do you, with e-commerce, how do you get them off of, I guess, also just like the immediate ROI? Like, okay, yes, we're increasing, but we're not getting checkouts, or we've only gotten, X amount. Like, I guess it's just an interesting species of of person that can withstand that growth. I'm sure you've heard it all, and I mean, you've definitely got the years of watching this. I can only imagine the wealth of knowledge that you have from 2007 to now. I mean, but how do you get these clients and these business owners to get off of that immediate gratification roller coaster? And you know what I mean? Like if they want to see dollars coming in the door,
Yeah, that's where I've realized over the years that SEO is just half the battle, because once you get people to your website, most of those people, or half the people, are going to leave that bounce rate. So I realized that just doing SEO and getting traffic isn't really what people are looking for. Like, they don't care what position they're in. They want sales, leads, phone calls. So I realized over the years, got to help out with more than just SEO. So I help out with like the paid ads and doing some remarketing. So anyone that goes to like e-commerce website, anyone that goes to that website, adds a product to the shopping cart but doesn't check out, let's follow them around. Keep yourself top of mind, because these are all warm leads, and let's try to capture them, or let's offer a lead magnet, something for free on your website, so you capture people's email addresses.
Right.
Start sending out emails and just having those multiple touch points. And the more touch points, the more likely someone's going to trust you and want to make that purchase. So I tell them, like, hey, it's a long cycle, but we're going to build your brand up across all these platforms and get Google to trust you, but also get people to trust you as well.
Oh, that's it. Because that's the part that, oftentimes I talk to people and they're like, I just want ads. And then I'll go and look at the site and I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea right now. So there's a lot of conversion rate optimization that needs to be done oftentimes. Customer journey, of course, needs to be acknowledged, like you said, and then the multiple touch points, because, what it was 2 years ago is not what it was a year ago, is not what it is now. We all know it. And there's fatigue, I think, that happens also. So from both standpoints, from the client's perspective, and I think also from the customer's perspective. At the same time, though, if you're providing value, then you've won that customer, and you've validated yourself through all of these different iterations of where you've shown up. Which is why SEO is more than just a rank. It's a brand development play, and it's for people that want to have staying power. If you want to be here, 3-5 years from now, then it's something that you have to invest in.
Yeah, it's a long-term play, and it's going to build you up and get you that traffic where you don't have to do anything after you start ranking. I mean, you have to maintain it, but you'll start getting that traffic and keep getting that traffic. Whereas like with paid ads, stop running the paid ads, you just disappear and you're just gone. But with SEO, you build that brand up, build that traffic up, and it's going to bring that steady supply of traffic to your website for the most part, as long as your competitors don't do more SEO than you do, which they're going to try to do that, because there's 10 spots on that first page of Google. And once you get to that first page, someone gets to that second page, they're not going to be happy about it. They're going to look at your keywords, your backlinks, your site structure, all the coding, the technical things, and outrank you. Yeah.
It's like Tom and Jerry. They're just going to constantly chase each other around, right?
Never ends.
I tell people sometimes, I'm like, I feel bad. I mean, this is the nature of the beast. I didn't invent the game. We just play it, And so what can we do? We're just trying to help businesses get to where they need to be and stay there. But you're right. It is cat and mouse, and That's why it does require, you know, sometimes I talk to people who are like, okay, so then once I'm done with that 6 months to a year, am I done? And I'm like, you can be, or if you want to stay there, you're probably like, now people are going to exact same thing as what you just said. So yeah, but that's, look, we can't solve every problem. For them to make their business profitable and maintain it is on that side. For us to be able to get them to where they need to be so that they can have the opportunity to have that business is on our side.
Yeah, we could only lead them and guide them and give them as much insight as possible, and then let them see firsthand how it really works, because it is very competitive. Well, depending on your keywords, but most keywords are pretty competitive nowadays. There's a low barrier of entry to create a website, whereas like 10, 15 years ago, when I first started getting into the marketing, digital marketing, it was a lot less competition. Now, so easy to create a WordPress, Shopify, Wix, Squarespace. It makes it really easy with the templates and themes to throw something up, and now you have another competitor, and it's infinite how many websites there are. It's
Sure. It's never ending. It's not going to go away. But I do feel that SEO is going to be here to stay in whatever iteration that will become in the future. You know, who knows? If you guys ever need SEO and you want an absolute expert to talk to, I definitely recommend talking to Brandon Leibowitz. Thank you so much for your time today. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you for having me on today.
All right. Take care.
Bye.